President Trump on Friday publicly rebuked his director of national intelligence for a second time this week over testimony earlier this year that the intelligence community did not believe Iran was building a nuclear weapon. What intelligence do you have that Iran is building a nuclear weapon? Your intelligence community has said that they have no evidence that they are at this point, a reporter asked Trump after he arrived in New Jersey. Well, then my intelligence community is wrong. Who in the intelligence community said that? Trump responded. When a reporter responded that was Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, Trump replied, "She's wrong." Gabbard testified to Congress in March that the intelligence community asserted that Iran was not building a nuclear weapon and its supreme leader had not authorized a nuclear weapon program. She also noted that Iran's enrichment uranium stockpile was unprecedented for a state without nuclear weapons. In a post on her official government account on the social media platform X, I'm so sick of that site, Gabbard responded to Trump's latest comments by accusing the press of intentionally taking my testimony out of context and spreading fake news as a way to manufacture division. America has intelligence that Iran is at the point that it can produce a nuclear weapon within weeks to months if they decide to finalize the assembly, Gabbard posted. President Trump has been clear that can't happen, and I agree. Gabbard's testimony in March did not include timeline of weeks to months. Okay, so here's what happened. So back in March, in all likelihood, Gabbard was telling the truth about, hey, look, we've looked into it. It doesn't look like Iran is building a nuclear weapon. And what has been very apparent for a lot of Republicans, really since the Bush years, Bush 43 years, is that they would like to have war with Iran, do regime change in Iran, get rid of the supreme leader, which is something that Netanyahu, right, was saying that he's not against doing. And with a lot of these different figures, right, that are in American politics, because they're so self-serving and so reluctant to ever, let's just call it what it is, not toe the line, right? Because Gabbard is worried about her political future. She wants to run for president either in 2028 or 2032, and she knows that coddling up to Trump is the best way to appear appealing to his voters. So after Trump said, hey, that thing she said before, incorrect, she because she has no principle, she goes, oh yeah, I was talking about something else, and the media has me out of context. Like, no, they are referring to a statement that you made just a few short months ago, where it appeared that you were saying Iran does not have nuclear weapons, nor are they developing one. So you're watching in a matter of days, Trump and one of his top people being caught contradicting each other, right? And the top person, savvy for both her role in his administration over the next 3 years and also beyond that, possibly running for president, trying to make sure that she can keep towing that line by not even acknowledging of like, okay, I said that in March, but there have been these like recent developments. Oh, no, they took what I said out of context and they were trying to sow division between me and my president who's just trying to protect the American people from evil Iran, even though we're the ones that are on the side of the country that bombed Iran when they weren't doing anything to Israel. But still, God, it is. And the sad part is that, I was critical of, Biden for involving us so much in Ukraine, right? Giving them all this money, not getting away from just backing Israel and that whole thing with Hamas, where it was we support their right to defend themselves, and we're going to completely ignore the atrocities they commit on the Palestinians in favor of continuing to claim that we're either for them defending themselves or a ceasefire. They just wouldn't get out of, remove themselves from this middling position, and I think that played a role in Harris's troubles, in the election. But what kills me is, this is another example of a clear-cut aggression by Israel, and if you call that out, if you say, hey, how about we not support a country that wants to have war with, what is obviously, Iran is Israel's arch enemy, right? How about we not involve ourselves with helping them in that pursuit, because we don't want to have American service members get killed for something that has nothing to do with us. We don't want to possibly have, nuclear weapons if Iran is supposedly building these directed at us. And because all of the people around Trump are desperate to curry favor with God knows how many millions of Americans that just will not stop being part of this man's cult, they will never either advised him against doing this, refused to go along with it. I mean, this is a case of U.S. foreign intervention stamped by careerism, where people are more concerned about their own futures than the immediate aftermath of what's going to happen if we get involved with a war between Iran and Israel. And Gabbard's another example of that. All the people that sat there and thought she was this peace-loving candidate who was against the wars, and she just wants to keep us safe. It's like, here's a perfect example of where she could have done that. She could have said, I do not support a conflict with them. If the president wants to do that, that's his prerogative. I'm just not going to back it. But she chooses not to because, again, she's concerned about her career and getting those MAGA voters to go for her grift. And it's really all just very disgusting.